This performance of the Grand Ole Opry is dedicated to our friend and beloved Opry member, Don Schlitz. Don was originally scheduled to perform on tonight's show. He went to heaven on Thursday afternoon following a sudden illness. Before Don ever played the Grand Ole Opry, he became one of the most awarded, admired, and impactful songwriters ever. He was a two-time ACM Song of the Year winner. He won a Grammy for Song of the Year twice, and the CMA Award for Song of the Year 3 times. Don was a member of the National Songwriters Hall of Fame, the Songwriters Hall of Fame, the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame, and the Country Music Hall of Fame. Like with his wife Stacy, it was love at first sight for Don and the Opry. The Don Opry love story began in 2017 when his great friend Vince Gill invited Don to come hang out with him at the Opry, and then surprised him by calling him on stage, handing Don a guitar, and inviting him to make his Opry debut by performing one of the many country classics he had penned, The Gambler. It ended in a standing ovation. You could say it was a great first date. Soon afterwards, Don began making guest appearances, causing audiences' jaws to drop when the self-effacing man before them, center stage, would one by one perform some of the incredible songs he had written that had become the soundtrack to our lives. Songs popularized by the likes of Alabama, Mary Chapin Carpenter, the Judds, Alison Krauss, Reba McEntire, the Oak Ridge Boys, Ronnie Millsap, Randy Travis, Keith Whitley, and so many more. It was abundantly clear from the start that Don was family here. Our audiences loved him. Our band and singers loved him. His fellow artists, backstage guests, all of our staff members, I mean everyone here, loved Don Schlitz. In June 2022, Vince invited Don to become an Opry member. "Can I bring my songs with me?" Don asked that night. Of course he could, and he became an official member that August. He was the first and is still the only member in the Opry's 100-year history known primarily as a songwriter. The years since Don became a member have been not only treasured, personally, I'd call them priceless. Don embraced this place with a spirit I don't have the words to describe, and his love was returned night after night. One of his songs shares the sentiment, "Your heroes will help you find good in yourself. Your friends won't forsake you for somebody else." How amazing that for so many of us at the Opry, our songwriting hero became our friend. And the very man who penned those words lived them out in that circle and on all the stages of his life. I always felt like Don's Opry sets were a clinic in songwriting and entertaining. He'd walk on stage after an introduction and say to the audience, "You have no idea who I am." He'd then proceed to take us all on a 20-minute country music journey, ending in a standing ovation from an audience appreciative of, yes, the past 20 minutes, but also of 50 years of music. Songs that have made us laugh, made us cry, might have encouraged us to ask someone for a first dance, inspired us to get a job, provoked us to quit a job, or reminded us to cherish the people we love most. And just as night after night out here, Don quickly went from someone audiences like yourselves had never heard of to someone with whom the audience felt an incredible connection. Don connected quickly and deeply on a personal level with almost anyone he ever met. He was kind, compassionate, and joyous. Ask Gina Keltner, the Opry's associate producer. He wrote great emails. Ask our singers and band. He gave great nicknames. I guarantee you that every single person who has spent any time at all backstage over the last 9 years has something great to say about Don Schlitz. For me, he didn't just co-write my all-time favorite song. His live performances at the Bluebird back in the 90s when I'd visit Nashville, long before I ever moved here, made me want to find a way to get to this incredible town. More recently, he and I composed one half of a monthly 4-man lunch group that produced raucous and continuous laughter. Most folks seated around us in the restaurant probably thought, wow, those guys in their 50s, 60s, and 70s sure think each other are funny. Good for them. They're probably the only ones in each other's lives who think so. Don was a giant of human being. While his passing leaves a giant hole in our hearts, the love story between Don and the Opry will never end. His anecdotes will live on, and his signature laugh will echo across this room and down the halls for years to come. Ha! Don was so honored when 3 of his songs were named by Opry fans last year as among the 100 greatest songs in Opry history. I truly believe there will be Don Schlitz songs among the greatest songs in the at the Opry's 200th anniversary. They're that good, and the love lives on.